Howdy, folks. Spencer here, and today Cryptic has announced the first event in the 2023 event campaign number 5. This event is the Good Day to Die event, and it is going to be running alongside the Klingon recruitment event. Before I get too far into things, of course, chapters are listed down below for those of you that want to skip ahead. I'm going to start off by talking about the specific event that they're doing here, and then we'll talk about event campaign 5 a bit more near the end of the video. So, this Good Day to Die event will be running on PC from February 16th through March 9th. This is right around the same time frame that the Klingon recruitment event is running. And it will give you 6 different TFOs as options to do for this event. The first is Defensive Starbase 1, and that's just great. We needed more people running Starbase 1, right? That's just what we need. Next up, we have To Hell with Honor, which is probably going to be the quickest option for most of you. Then Battle of the Binary Stars, Remain Klingon, Operation Riposte, and Best Served Cold. Again, my recommendation, if you want to get through the event quickly each day, is going to be to do To Hell with Honor. That can be done in under 5 minutes if you are playing with a very good team that has a lot of AoE DPS. Now, if you complete 14 days of this specific Good Day to Die event, you will get the Torchbearer collection, and this gives you an armor, an EV suit, a costume unlock, and a batleth. So I don't know how any of these are going to perform. They haven't really given us the stats here, but this will probably, at a minimum, be a good set for alts. So we'll have to wait and see exactly how the performance on these things are. And of course, once you've completed the 14 days worth of progress, you can go through and play for the remaining 7 days to get some extra dilithium. Now, let's talk about Event Campaign 5. Event Campaign 5 will be structured exactly the same as some of the previous event campaigns. The only change is that the Premium Tier 6 Starship Choice Box has been updated to include all ships that were released into the game via promo and lockboxes before December 7th of 2022. So you'll have an option of that Premium T6 Starship Choice Box that will give you any lockbox or promotional ship from before December 7th. You'll have an option for 2 T6 C-Store coupons or a bundle of 1,500 Lobi crystals. So the exact same reward structure that they have been doing now for the past couple of years. Now, some of you are probably going to be wondering, how long is it going to take to get the event campaign done? And the amount of progress that you need is the exact same this year as it was last year. You'll need 3,500 campaign progress. Now, there are ways to complete this faster. What most people do, and why most people don't finish the event campaign fast, is they will go through and they'll just play the 14 days that each of these specific events are active. So, like with this Good Day to Die event, the majority of people are only going to play for 14 days, and then they're not going to play it anymore after those 14 days. And that is a mistake, because these events run for 21 days, and you can earn campaign progress for all 21 of those days. So if you just do the bare minimum and do the 14 days in each event, that will get you 700 progress, and then by the end of the year, you would get access to your event campaign. Now you can speed things up a bit by playing those extra 7 days each event. And if you're free to play, you can get the event campaign box by the 3rd or 4th event. So basically your choice is do the bare minimum. That opened really large. Okay, so you can do the bare minimum of 14 days and get 700 progress per event, which is a bit boring, or you can do the full 21 days and get 1,050 progress per event. Now, if you really want to speed things up, you can buy out a couple of these events right off the bat to get your progress right away. So with an event like the Good Day to Die event here, you'll have an option to just buy it out for 20 bucks. And if you do that, you'll immediately get 700 progress. But it's very important that if you do that before you play the event at all. So as soon as the Good Day to Die event goes live, you would need to buy it out right away. And as soon as you pay the 20 bucks, you'll get 700 progress. And then you can continue to play it every day for the 21 days to get another 1050 progress, which means that from the first event, you'll have half of the event campaign done. And then if you repeat that for the second event, you can have your event campaign finished by the end of the second event campaign event. So if you want to speed things up, that is the way to do it. Now, let's take a look at what has changed with the options. I do want to also reference back to, for any of you that want to take a look at all of your prize options, I have a video from just 5 months ago that was going over Event Campaign 4, and I'll probably do a very similar video later this year. That's going to be basically the same type of information, because the only thing that's changed from Event Campaign 4 is that these couple of ships have been added to the premium T6 choice pack box. So the ships that were added that we didn't have in Event Campaign 4 are the California class, the Excelsior 2, the Farragut, the Marion Command Science Dreadnought, the Praetor, the Courier Pilot Raider, and if you like, just a random note, but the Courier Pilot Raider is dirt cheap on the exchange, and if you burn your event campaign box on this ship with how cheap it is, I'm going to be very worried. Then we have the Emerald Chain Intel Juggernaut, the Terran Acheron, the Sagan Command Cruiser. Someone's going to get mad about how I pronounce that. The Section 31 Intel Dreadnought Cruiser, and the Cheval Temporal Science Spearhead. Now, to me, the highlights from last year for the ships that came out are the Excelsior 2. The Excelsior 2, as you guys know, I was praising quite a bit. The console on it is really just a ton of fun. The ship itself is okay. Like, I got decent performance out of it with the surgical strike setup, but at the end of the day, it is a 4-4 ship. But the console on it, if you guys go back and check out my review on the Excelsior, that console's a ton of fun, and I have been using that console on basically every build that I've been doing for the past month or two, because it just is so much fun. It fires out a ton of phaser beams from your ship that have overload at will, and the damage does is actually pretty nice. Now, if you're looking for some other ships that might be worth it that they added, the Sagging Command Cruiser is a decent command platform. If that's something you're interested in, it's basically a Styx that has a Lieutenant Commander temporal seat rather than intel. So if you have the Styx, it's going to be quite comparable. But one thing about the Sagan that I will mention is it does have a trait on it that does interact with reverse shield polarity. So basically, when you hit feedback pulse on your build, it'll give you the equivalent rank of reverse shield polarity. And when you hit reverse shield polarity, it'll give you the equivalent rank of feedback pulse. So they just changed reverse shield polarity to add in that shield immunity today with the patch on February 9th. And if you were looking to min-max into that RSP stuff a bit, this trait off of the Sagan might be something to consider, because you can extend the uptime of RSP with this trait. And the other ship that I would say to keep an eye out for and maybe consider would be the Cheval. The Cheval is actually just a really nice platform. It's a really good torpedo platform, Sci-Torp. It's got a Commander Temporal and a Lieutenant Commander Command. It's just a really good ship overall, and this is one of the few promo ships that we've gotten in the past couple of years where I liked it enough that I went out and dumped it on. I ended up putting it on both of my DPS characters. So it was a really good ship. And if you're into the Sci-Torp play style, or you're looking for a different type of tort boat to mess around with, then the Cheval is a very good platform for that. So I also have a video going over the event campaign options from last year, where I go and break down some of the nice options that we had last year. And the ships that I mentioned there, like the D7 Miracle Worker flight deck carrier, the Deimos, the Crossfield refit, the Mirror Warship, the Styx, those types of ships are still very good options also. And I would recommend, if you're on PC, once you get your event campaign box, to head on over to Tribble and try every one of the ship options out, because you can copy that box over multiple times over and over again to see what it is, to see what ship you end up liking the most. Now, one other thing I'll mention here is that as of February 9th, we do not yet know what the lockbox ship is that's going to be in the 13th anniversary bundle. And the predictions currently are that it's going to be the Mirror Warship, the Styx, or the Acheron. So if any of those options are part of the 13th anniversary bundle, then I would recommend you get the 13th anniversary bundle and don't waste your event campaign box on whatever ship that is, if that is what you were hoping for or that you were wanting to get. So that's going to be it for me today. Again, to recap, this first event goes live on February 16th on PC and is running through March 9th. If you want to get your event campaign done as quick as possible, you need to follow the advice that I put in there and buy the event out right away for $20, and then continue to play it every single day. And again, To Hell with Honor will be the quickest option if you can get a good team. And if you do that, and you do the same thing for the second event here, 2 or so months from now, then you can have your event campaign completely done very, very early into the year. That's going to be it for today. Again, thank you all for the continued support. I will be streaming here to mess around with some of the pilot stuff in about an hour or two after I record this video. So if you want to see how the pilot stuff is doing, then stop by and say hi. Again, thank you for watching, and see you guys around.